of a confession about a chat that he had with Prince William when the pair met the other day. And he said that the Prince confided in him about King Charles and Princess Kate's ongoing health battles, of course, a diagnosis with cancer. Now, he said, I asked him about his wife and he said she's doing well. I asked him about his father and his father is fighting very hard. He loves his father, he loves his wife. It's sad. Angela, this seems to be the first time we've been given a real glimpse as to how bad the situation is.
Yeah, I think this is really significant what Trump's come out and said. Look, we could say it could have had some Trump top spin. He loves a bit of top spin on things. But I don't think he wants to damage his reputation and relationship with the royal family, who we know he adores, by giving it any extra emphasis. So I think that there's every likelihood that this has been accurately reported, in which case what it suggests to me is that the king isn't particularly well. He could be more sick than we think. He could be fighting this ongoing battle. Well, of course, we know that Catherine's cancer treatment has finished because she told us it has, but there's been no indication that the king's cancer treatment has finished. So I think this is the very first time we've got any kind of idea from anyone of status that this might be a harder battle than we first anticipated for the king.
Yeah, and they're notoriously private. We've never known anything about it. So to hear this, it is quite jarring. Now, Angela, Queen Camilla's son, this is Tom Parker Bowles, he will be attending his very first royal Christmas this year. But meanwhile, the king has excluded his own son, Harry, and wife, Meghan. So another year without Harry and Meghan. No surprises there.
Oh, look, it's interesting, isn't it? We're 5 years after Megxit and everybody's looking at, has this worked? And on some levels it's worked. They've got a bit more freedom, that sort of thing. But he doesn't have a relationship with his father at a time when his father is sick. He doesn't have a relationship with his sister-in-law at a time that she was sick. His children are now 5 and 3. This is the age that Harry will remember what it was like to be around family. He, of course, doesn't have extended family with Meghan because she doesn't talk to half of her family, well, most of them. So the royal family, this will be, as much as Harry and Meghan try to sort of spin the dialogue on this, that they love their freedom and that, you know, we just saw that the last week. The fact is, this will be a time that concentrates his mind, that he is very much on the outer of the family. As to the point about Tom Parker Bowles, I think this very much suggests, as we were just talking about, that the king's health could be worse than we think. The fact that Tom has said he's going to Christmas, in the past, he's usually spent it with his sister. Camilla, sometimes in the afternoon, has driven from Sandringham down to London to spend it with her children and grandchildren. But this year, she's made this plaintive approach to her son, saying, please come for Christmas. Now, that suggests to me there's a reason behind that. I want you here this year. It could be that it's just been a tricky year. She's, of course, just got over pneumonia. The king's been sick. But it also might speak a lot more to what might be going on behind the scenes for this family and their need to make sure that extended family are gathered together.
It sounds like she needs some support, definitely. Now, before we let you go, Prince Harry is set to face up to 4 days of questioning in UK's High Court. This is, of course, as part of his upcoming lawsuit against the publisher of The Sun over allegations of unlawful information gathering. How do you see this playing out now?
Well, this is down for 4 days. When he went against Mirror Group the year before last, that was only a day and a half of evidence. So 4 days of evidence. Of course, he won the case before. This has become a course celeb for him. He is driving this through. He, of course, has the Mail Group newspapers in 2026. Whereas, you know, others have settled out of court, Harry is very much pushing his vendetta against the press forward at every time. Of course, he was challenged on a lot of issues during the Mirror Group case. This one will be the same. And as the judge said in the last case, this was fraught with conflict, these cases. It was, you know, a hugely toxic battle. So, look, he likes it. He seems to want to do it. I can't see that it's giving him any peace, but he has a cause to fight.
I mean, it's a lot of a battle to keep going through the courts. It must be exhausting, but that's what he wants to do. So
and the cost of those flights.
The cost of the flights, but not to see the family, of course. Angela Mollard, good to be with you. Thank you so much for joining me on the show this evening.